As we look at our 2021 theme, it is timeless wisdom, evolutionary vision. We speak lots in Science of Mind about ancient wisdom. Here we call it timeless wisdom because there is no time and space in God, and it is the wisdom of the ages that we're tapping into, as we also are tapping into our evolutionary vision, meaning future vision of self, along with the wisdom that we've gained from the path that we are currently on. In April, I just want to say thank you to Reverend Kevin and Reverend Judy for kicking us off and starting us off in the direction of stepping into the unknown. For the last 2 weeks, we've been looking at stepping into the unknown and what it means and how we get an opportunity to really step into the unknown. Today, we get to look at Bless-itation. Bless-itation. And as we look at Bless-itation, we'll find out for ourselves what this really means. It is a hybrid word that we get to have some fun with today. Now, Thomas Troward said, the whole problem of life consists in finding the true relation of the individual to the universal originating spirit. That the whole problem in life consists of finding the true relation of the individual to the universal spirit. Now, in our teaching, what I can share with you is that, when I first came to knowing our Science of Mind philosophy, being taught how to think instead of what to think, and how life really forms itself, there, I had some challenges or some battles around, wait a minute, so what I grew up with, I get to question, those ideas, those things that I learned from my grandmother, from my parents, that I learned from school, that I learned, just from the basic cosmology of those around me. I got an opportunity to really question whether I believed in a God that was male, that was white, that had white hair and a beard, that lived very, very far away, sounding more and more like Santa Claus, right? He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Like, if we really think about it, at least for me, it almost felt like God was like the Santa Claus and kind of keeping track. And this philosophy and this way of thinking really opened up this idea that, wait a minute, is that the truth for me? Is that a possibility? Do I actually believe that? And is that the kind of quote unquote loving God that I want to live knowing? Or what are the other options? What else is the possibilities? Is it possible that there's an infinite power and intelligence that is neither male nor female, that is spirit, that is infinite intelligence, that is loving, that is kind, that is joy, that is peace, that has created everything out of itself? Therefore, my life is its very life. And as I began to really contemplate this and recognize this and actually be with it and be in the stillness and silence, I got an opportunity to recognize that all those folks in the Bible, Matthew, Mark, Luke, Noah, Jesus, the Christ, that they were not anything more special than I was. And that I, because I have a direct connection with this power and presence, could have these revelations of truth for my very life. You see, so many times we depend on other people to tell us and to dictate to us who God is and what that power and presence is. And what we encourage is for you to ask those internal questions, for you to open yourself up to have the revelation and have those answers be divinely given to you, that they are revealed from within you. And as that path and as that journey began, the opportunity for me to know something different for myself came to fruition. And as it came to fruition, it gave me the opportunity to know my life in a different way. So now the whole problem with life isn't finding the relationship. Now I begin to learn this and to know this for myself. So our Science of Mind book tells us that the one, capital O, the one encompasses and flows through all. And you know what I've been saying lately, right? All means all, and that's all means. So the one, this one power presence, this life, this godness, encompasses and flows through all, spilling itself into numberless forms and personalities. Into numberless forms and personalities. So this one is my life. It is your life. It is the life of all, in all forms, in all shapes, in all sizes, in all everything, in all. So our Science of Mind further says that there's a universal mind, spirit, intelligence that is the origin of everything. It is first cause. It is God. And as I think about just the basics right there, like that is the basics. That is where we begin. And when we begin from there, recognizing this power, this presence, this life that is all powerful, all knowing, everywhere present, and that in the quote unquote beginning for humanity, right? Like in the beginning, there was God and only God, that God created out of itself all that is. So this godness, this creation is found in, through, and as all things. That means that God is living me right now. God is living as me right now. God is living in, through, and as you right now. So what I'm doing is setting up this platform, because here we are living our day-to-day lives, and this idea of bless-itation comes when we're trying to figure out what to do next. What is our life about as we indulge in our day-to-day activities, or maybe a project or something like that. What we get to discover is this creative power within us, because that creative power is God. That creative power is our very life. And so many, many times we believe and we start living life as though life is a journey. We've heard that. We've heard that 1,000,001 times over our life span so far. Oh, life is a journey. Life is a journey. Many of us have been living our life as if life is a journey. And what I want to share with you today is that life is not a journey. Did I say that? I see George smiling. What if we stopped saying life is a journey? Life is not a journey. We've been taught this old school idea that life is a journey and that we're supposed to enjoy the journey. But the truth is that life just is. Life doesn't have a destination. The universe doesn't have a destination. The world is not going anywhere. Uh-oh. Some light bulbs are going off here. whoa, life is not a journey. The universe is actually quite playful. It's actually quite a dance. It is this ebb and this flow. It is this motion. And yet we've been taught to think that life is a journey. And so here we go, life is a journey, and I'm supposed to, go to school and learn and get my degree and then go to work. You ever check out musicians? What do musicians do? They don't work the piano. They don't work the trumpet. They don't work the violin. They play. They play the violin. They play the piano. They play music. What if we were to begin to see our life as playful, so that when we are faced with decisions, we don't have to, be like, oh, is this the right thing to do? Oh, is this, that? Or, oh, I'm hesitation. Oh, the hesitation. And instead, when we look at life as playful, that quote unquote hesitation becomes the bless-itation. That's where that word bless-itation comes in. Because it all depends on how we're seeing life, which then says to us, and especially as we look at our sage community, is like life is not over because I retired from work. But in fact, that each and every day is playful. And that every opportunity that we have is actually an opportunity to play. An opportunity in which we begin to trust life and trust the universe and trust that there is no destination. There's no journey. There is just this concert, this symphony in which song after song after song, whether it's project or marriage or, situations, that each of these are actually like songs in which we have this opportunity to dance and to sing and to enjoy. We've been, quote unquote, brainwashed to believe that life is a journey, when if we follow the nature of life, it is indeed playful. It is a song. It is music in which we are to enjoy. Now, imagine making choices and decisions based on plenitude. If this choice and decision that I make is not the one that I enjoy the most, I can put some more money in the jukebox and have a different song that I enjoy. I can make another decision. I can have plenty of choices without hesitation, because what I know about life is that life is eternal. And because life is eternal, there is no destination in which we need to, quote unquote, get to. In our everyday society, right, if we look at life as life is this journey, then of course, like I was saying earlier, you go to school, you get a degree, you go and work 30 years or 20 years at some job. And for those of us who've already been there, done that, no shame, no blame, we get to make some new choices today, right? But then what happens, like we buy into this thing about what it means to be a senior or be a particular age, or that life is now ended because of X, Y, or Z. But life itself is always seeking to express itself. And so when we are faced with hesitation, when we don't know, oh, is that a good choice to make? Should I make that decision? we get an opportunity to actually recognize, do I believe that my life is the life of God? And if I believe that my life is the life of God, then I get to have these choices and make these decisions based on faith, based on knowing that there is no final destination place, but that there is indeed this playful nature of life, and that those moments of hesitation are actually moments, those moments of doubt or where I hesitate, those are actually pauses, if you will, when we put the music on pause and we get to go, yeah, what do I believe? And, what are the choices that I'm making here, and the decisions that I'm making based on my choice. So our choices are based in our beliefs, in our values. A choice is the idea of a choosing. A decision is actually the action that we take, and we always get to choose again. We always get to make a different choice. My life is not a journey with a destination or arrival location. Instead, life is a concert for me to enjoy, for me to sing and to dance until the finale. You ever been to a concert? You're enjoying each and every song. You might get up and dance, you might sing the words to it, and then that finale, that grand finale, is the end of the concert. And then you go to another concert. You go to another concert. Now, what's interesting about this idea and this way of seeing things differently than a journey is that it gives us the breath and the permission to be playful. And to be playful is a bless-itation. It is indeed a blessing and a gift that comes out of our hesitation. It comes out of that doubt. Is this the way to go? Is that the way to go? When I am in doubt, it gives me an opportunity to pause and engage in spiritual practice. In that spiritual practice of knowing that my life is the life of God. The times where we have doubt and fear, the times where we hesitate to make choices, those are really opportunities and blessings for us. I'll give you an example. Lately we've been talking about whether we come back together in the physical, as in our physical space, in community. We've been talking a lot about, what do we do with our building? These are opportunities when we're kind of going, is this the right decision? And we hesitate, or we don't necessarily just go ahead and, make the decision. Those opportunities of hesitation, do I go to this appointment? Do I not go to this appointment? What's the right choice? Do I do this one or do I do this one? And when we're faced with those choices are actually that opportunity to evaluate what we value, to review what I believe. Do I believe that I live in a friendly universe? Do I believe that God is living in, through, and as me? Do I believe that I am a revealer of truth? And from there, I take an action. That's the decision. That word decide, that side, that C-I-D-E, that decide comes from the root word to sever. To sever. When we kill off all other ideas, where those other choices are no longer what we're choosing. So when we decide and when we make a decision, like when we make an incision, we cut off all the other options and we choose this one. And those are based on our values. It's based on our cosmology, on our belief. And if we're living life like life is a journey, then there's, it's like, it's a journey, it's a journey, it's a journey. And, there's certain things that we have to do and we have to show up and we have to ta. But when we review our cosmology, our ideas, our beliefs about God, about life, about the universe, about all, and when we live life as though life is playful without a destination, the universe doesn't have this destination. Otherwise, it'd be like, hurry up and get there. Hurry up, let's get there. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, let's get there, let's get there, let's get there. But when we pause and recognize that life is not a journey, that it is this symphony, this concert in which we are to enjoy, then irrespective of our age currently, our physical human age, that means that today and each and every day, we can awaken to this playful life. Now, when I say playful, I'm not trying to say, just abandon your life and live, yee, I don't have any bills to pay. I don't have to be responsible. When we look at musicians, it is learned. It is learned what notes to play, harmony, all these musical instruments coming together in harmony. So there is some learning, there is some work, there is like recognizing our life as a life of God. There is all of that. There is responsibility in all of that, just like we started our conversation this morning, even with our vision and mission statement. And yet, when I look at the vastness of playfulness, of recognizing that my life is eternal because my life is the life of God, of recognizing that responsibility, that I'm responsible to you and you are responsible to me, and that we're in this together because together we are that symphony, together we are that concert, that together we create a world that works for everyone, that together we awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And that even though there's some quote unquote work, it is called playing. That the universe is quite playful, that is this ebb and this flow, that it is just simply existing without a grand destination. So as we choose today to live our life from this perspective, how might that change for you? What new choices and decisions will you make on a day-to-day basis? And will you begin to call this your bless-itation? Because I absolutely believe that to the degree in which we recognize our life as the life of God, that it is to that degree that we live our life fully. Like this slide, it is blank. What notes will you put on it? What will your life be? It gets to be as playful as you want it to be. Our Science of Mind book tells us the life which you live is the universal life expressing through you. Else, how could you live? Your life is the universal life with all the powers and the privileges of just simply being playful and joyous. So, as we wrap this up, and as we are with this idea that life is not a journey, but a concert in which to be playful, in which to enjoy, in which to sing and dance, everything in my life welcomes a realization of spirit. This realization of spirit is our very life. And so everything in my life welcomes the realization of spirit. Because as I do that, as I welcome the realization of spirit, that indeed is the Bless-itation. And so I encourage you to take another look at where you hesitate, where you have doubt, where you have fear, and to right there adjust the thinking so that you might live life each and every day fulfilled, joyous, and free. It is so, and now it is.